Morning, welcome. This is the Journey of Mela Lifestyle. My name is Camila Tibbetts. Yes. Okay. So if you're new and you're joining us, the thing is that we know in this community is that if I come on and I have on a headband, that means I had a lot going on and I didn't comb my hair. So I'm talking to the members of my community that are always here that know, or if you're listening on the podcast, if I have on a headband during our video lives, then there is a lot going on. And definitely it was a lot going on this weekend. So let me just take a sip. So if you follow us on social media, on Instagram, YouTube, you know that we just released another episode of In the Kitchen with Camila, and I did this episode this week on peppermint bark. So it was a lot. I used to, when my kids were growing up, I used to tell them, poor planning on your part doesn't make an emergency on my part. And I did not plan. So let me backtrack a little. If you're new and you're joining us, welcome. If someone forwarded you the podcast or shared a video with you, welcome. Whatever medium or whatever platform you've come to us and come around us, we welcome you. And my name is Camila Tibbetts. I am a serial entrepreneur. I have launched and scaled brands in the past, and this is just my journey that initially started of launching Mela Lifestyle, which is first a community and secondly a lifestyle website that has categories of products along the lines of wellness, beauty, style, home. But with that, I wanted to have these morning meditations prior to launch. Back in November, I think I did it, where I was just sharing behind the veil of what it's like to be a founder. And after the launch, which is great, the website is up. It's M like Mela, MELA lifestyle.com. But I also wanted to give you guys these meditations. I got such great feedback. So I always say, morning moments, madness, and meditation. So what was the madness this weekend? Well, this weekend, the madness was all about peppermint bark. And I'm excited because I gave you and I shared three primary recipes around peppermint bark. The first was a peppermint affogato, which is basically espresso over peppermint ice cream, but you can also use coffee over it as well. And then we did a peppermint martini. We did a mocktail version of that, but on our blog you'll see I did a mocktail version and a traditional cocktail if you want that. And then we did a peppermint bars. So I did these layered bars with toffee and chocolate and peppermint bark and all the yummy goodness that I cannot eat for a number of reasons. So I'm really excited about that. But I was I have all day Saturday. This is going to be great. And it's I need to go get this. I need to go get that. And if you're new and you're joining us, I live in New York City. So if you're in California or you're in New Mexico, Texas, where if you have to run an errand, you just plop in the car and go. Well, I have to get on the train and there's a lot more entail, which I'm great about, to navigate to go get something at the Container Store. But I'm grateful, and so check out the In the Kitchen with Camila episode on peppermint bark. You can find that on Mela Lifestyle IGTV. You can see it on my Instagram now. We also have it on YouTube. And on our blog, if you just want to read it, if you're somewhere where you're not supposed to really be looking at peppermint bark recipes, but you can low-key act like you're reading something else, it's on the blog and you can read it. So welcome. So morning meditation. So what are our meditations this morning? I thought about a lot with that because side note, when I first moved to New York, I was really afraid to ride the train. I thought it was a little claustro. I really prefer to ride the bus. And my friends are like, you want to ride the bus? I'm like, yeah, I want to ride the bus. You want to know why? Because it's an exit, there's leadership, there's a bus driver, and there's windows. And basically on the train, you don't have none of that. So I was on the train this weekend, and there's a lot going on in the city per usual, but I'm on the train, I'm on the cart, I'm in one of the, and this man gets on the train who's loaded, he's out of his mind, he is not present, and he gets on the train with a razor. So he's he's loaded, but he has this razor. And anything, you're okay, that's a weapon. Even though it's a razor, it's a big razor, it's a weapon, right? Anything can basically be a weapon. Okay, so I was I felt a bit defenseless, right? Because I'm listening to my music, whatever, but I was very aware, and I'm on the train, the doors are closed, there's no exit, we're underground, and there was just a moment. And I thought about that a lot, how it's like I can be in my apartment, like, making peppermint bark, and then like all of a sudden, like I'm on the train with this man and he has his razor, and and it really didn't matter if he was present, if he was sober, or if he was loaded or not. The point was that I was present and I saw what was happening. So, I thought about that, and I thought about everything that we're doing toward the end of the year with Mela Lifestyle. And we talked last week, we did our series on the expression. We talked about pulling the Band-Aid off, how we're going to draw closer, how we can rise above it all. It's my heart to really have like those deep conversations, kind of uncomfortable conversations, so we can get to a place where we launch into 2021 in a very profound way, because we've done all the good work, right? Because it's good. It may be work, but it's good work overall. And so our meditation this morning, our first meditation this morning, is climb in the trenches, right? And so I'm a word girl. I always like to give you guys definitions, and what you hear people use it like, oh, I'm in the trenches right now, or you hear it used, but like, let's really define and be really clear what it means, how we define the trenches. So the trenches, just by definition, it's a narrow excavation in the ground, right? And it serves as shelter from enemy attack. So that's basically where the term came from. You would think about it like a soldier or war. So you think about it's a narrow excavation in the ground that serves as shelter from attack. And if you think about it, attacks are happening all around us. We may feel like, oh, we're in our home right now, like everything, I'm seeing the same people all the time, like I'm safe, everything's on Zoom. But when we go out into the world, just like I went out into the world on Saturday, to run an errand, and I had that encounter. When we go out into the world, we have to be aware of the attacks that are happening around us. Like, we have to be aware of the pressure that's happening, whether we see it or we don't. And we have to, we talked about being in alignment and taking a stance. We have to be ready to be in alignment and take a stance with anything that comes to us. So let's not think that just because like we're in our home that this is how it's always going to be. This is just a chapter of a bigger story that you get to write for yourself. This is just a chapter. This is just a moment. And when we go back out into the world, right? When we go back out in 2021, we want to know that when we had this moment of shelter, when we had this moment of safety, that we took advantage of it and did some good work for ourselves, so we can go out and be strong and launch into 2021. As everyone is saying, oh, I can't wait until the year's over, but it's like, how are you going to prepare for when it ends, right? So how are you prepared for when it ends, whatever that is for you? And so again, so it's an excavation, the trench, an excavation of the ground, a place that serves as shelter, and a place where people do very good work. And that's where we're going to land on, right? Like, we climb in the trenches, like we join each other every day on Tableside with Camila, like we join each other every day, whether it be through a podcast, through a video, here on Instagram Live, and we're coming together to do some very good work. We're coming together to do some heavy lifting, to have some sweat equity into what we want this next year to look like, and how we're going to be present for that. So our first meditation is climb into the trenches. That if you've kind of been on the periphery, if you've kind of been on the edge, just like taking it day by day, wondering if and when things are going to end, I want to invite you into the trenches with us, right? I want to invite you into our community at Mela Lifestyle, so we can really do the good work. And this isn't a segue into join my program for blah blah blah. I'm not a coach. This is not a program. This is really a community. This is really a tribe. And even though we're not shoulder to shoulder, arm in arm in this moment, we are building something I think we are building something that is very progressive and is very vital for not only the season that we're in, but that we can do the work together, so when this ends, we can come out of it and still be a stronger tribe, still be a stronger community, and still be stronger individually, because we're really not alone. So first meditation this morning is climb in the trenches. And our second meditation this morning is Great Defender. And what do I mean by that? I mean that when I was on that train, right, and those doors were closed, and I was alone, I was certain that I had a great defender, right? I was certain that I had a plan for whatever was. Now, nothing happened. Like, it was fine. Like, he went on his way into the next cart. But we don't we don't shrink when trouble comes, right? We don't shrink when we feel like we're under attack. We do the work that we need to do, and we are prepared knowing that we have a great defender. And so I will ask you in this second meditation, who or what is your great defender? Like, where is that rescuing place for you? Where is that place that you go to where you know that this place is my shield and my rescue? This person, this being, this thing is a place where I can go, that when I feel defenseless and I have nothing else around me, and the armor and the tools that I usually have to war and to fight for enemy attack, I may not have. Where is my safe place, right? Where is my place of refuge? And so that's our second meditation today, which is like great defender. And when we know we have that, because a lot of times we can't fix what we can't fix. I've had things that I've struggled with in my life that I thought, I'm gonna be my own savior and I'm gonna fix this. But it's like, I can't fix something that I kind of created the problem, or, I was talking to a friend like, oh, this is my blind spot, so I'm going to do this. Well, it's like the thing about it being a blind spot is that you really can't see it. Like, right? So like, yeah, you have these blind spots, but if they're a blind spot to you, you need to link up with, you need to partner with, you need to climb in the trenches with someone that's going to be able to show you that, right? And so who or what is that place for you? Like, what is your great defender, right? And can you be courageous enough to yield yourself to something bigger than you? Can you be courageous enough to find safety and go in the trenches with a person, a place, a group like Mela Lifestyle that are really going to be that arm in armor for you and provide that courage for you? So I want you to think about that. I want you to think going into the end of this year, it's like we climb in the trenches together. We're in a place where we're doing the good work every morning on our morning meditations, that we have an opportunity, have a shield and a rescue, whether it's together as a community, whether it's with your partner, whether it's with a group, like whatever that is for you, that you are not defenseless, that you have a great defender, that there is someone somewhere warring for you that you may not even know, that there is someone advocating you in places, in words, in deeds that you may not be aware of. But if you can just climb in the trenches and be courageous enough to just say, I'm defenseless in this moment, to just say, I'm scared in this moment, to just say, I need help in this moment, then that's that supernatural momentum that happens, that's so magical when we can really come together and we can really do some good work. So I'm inviting you this week, I'm inviting you this Monday morning to climb in the trenches with us at Mela Lifestyle, to come into our community, to invite yourself into our tribe and know that we are a safe place, that we can help keep you safe from harm, that we can help give you the motivation and the skills and the tools and all the pretty things, but all the ugly good things too. Like, we can talk about it because we're willing to do the good work together and in a place of courage. So just know that our meditation this morning is climb into the trenches, and our second meditation this morning is great defender, because in the end we win. So ciao for now. Bye guys.